Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I won't black out this time. I run up in your eyes. I won't black out. All right. Let's see what we got here. Let's go to TikFan connect to TikTok Live, and boom. We are good. There we go. Let's go over to multi-stream chat. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, now we just wait, I guess. Get a little daytime stream going on this beautiful Sunday. Let's see how it goes. Watch some Valorant while I'm waiting. You bitch. Alright, let's see here. Right. Hello, Hugh. What's up, Tartaglia? How you doing? Tartaglia's husband. Where are my manners? How's he doing? How's your day? How's this beautiful Sunday going for you? And by beautiful, I mean cold as shit for no reason whatsoever. How is you? How is you? Sick as hell? Yeah. Shit, I get you, dude. It is cold for just no reason whatsoever. I don't know why it's cold. I don't know what happened. I don't know what God would allow this. Let me stop, but yeah, it's a bad one. Hope you get better soon. That's all I can say. Try getting some what works for a cold? I don't know, just things for the individual symptoms, I guess. It's kind of weird that there's no cure for a cold though. Hi, what's up, Blue Badger? How you doing? How's your day? How's your night? How's your life? How's all the stuff? How are you? It's like an early morning stream for you? Yeah, I haven't been to sleep yet, so it's like a right before bed type of deal. Yeah. Thanks, I got all the meds for it. I'm feeling better. Hell yeah. Love to hear it. Love that for us. Yeah, it's weird. But I figured if I'm gonna, be live, might as well be live early. But yeah, welcome in everybody who's in so far. Good to see you. Good to hear you. Good. What about you? I'm doing well. I'm doing decent. A little cold, but even though I got my thermostat all the way up, it's still cold as shit. Still a little chilly, It's for no reason. Try looking out the window. It's got some snow caked on the bottom, like near the bottom of it. It's a weird evidence. Let's see here. You're the evidence? Not quite. It's all around you: the ocean, the sun, the moon, etc. How can you doubt a god? I don't look at the sun and the moon and the ocean, and I don't see a god in there. I don't see why a god would be necessary for any of those things, really. You know. For me, there's natural explanations for the sun, the moon, the ocean, so I accept those over saying like an invisible guy in the sky did it. There is none. I think that's the most honest answer. God is in the solution, not the problem. That is the evidence. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do with that. That's like some Kung Fu Panda woo woo type. I don't know. I lost my dog yesterday and prayed to Jesus, show me that you are real, and listen to my prayer. May my dog be found. I hope your dog gets found. Also, Stace, thank you for the follow. And Elias, thank you for the likes. Well, where's the evidence that he's not? I mean, if we want to get really technical here, the burden of proof isn't on me, but I'm going to not be lazy, because one of us has to not be, right? So, there's the omnipotence problem, the paradoxes that it can give way to, showing that omnipotence isn't logically possible. There's set theory and how that disproves the idea of somebody being all-knowing, and there's also the issue of him being outside of space and time, but also him being omnipresent. Both of those are impossible. 30 minutes later, we found him. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Hell yeah. Your God returned you, but he didn't heal the kids. I mean, your God returned your dog, but didn't heal the kids in St. Jude. I'm just glad your dog's okay. So let me be less sarcastic. You can't see the air. How do you know it's there? I mean, I can go outside literally right now and breathe, and it's so cold that I can see the air. Forget your faith. W name. Thank you for the follow. So I mean, that was an awful analogy. No offense meant. Who's gonna turn on the moon's lights if God isn't real? Could you imagine? He's the one pulling the cord. I'm not religious, but I think the point is that there's no proof in faith believing, even though there's no evidence. I would think it's honest to say that there's no evidence, but I just don't give my life over to things that have no evidence, like none whatsoever. A bird's feather is complex. I'm not seeing what that's getting at. Nazi DW on YouTube. Thank you for following. Appreciate it. I'm gonna just pop in and say God wanted to have faith in him. Evidence will kind of destroy it. So basically, his arbitrary preferences dictate, how people should believe in him. Okay, sounds good. The obvious one is the fine tuning of the universe. Another good one is a moral indicator of a lawgiver. If there was a moral lawgiver, then all humans would morally agree with each other, which is not the case. Furthermore, if morals were objective, then there wouldn't. I mean, that's kind of what I said before, but if God did exist and they had a mind and they could change it, morals would still be subjective. So, but and also the fine tuning, I'm not seeing fine tuning. Universe is 68% dark energy and 25% dark matter. I'm not seeing it. If God didn't exist, you'd have to believe in infinite regress, which violates the second law of thermodynamics. There's a difference between infinite regress and an eternal cyclical universe. You know, I would read up on isolated systems versus closed systems before we bring up the second law. The people who say you can see the air must live in the West Coast, right? Or like the Philippines or something. I can't wait to move to the Philippines, dude. That's gonna be a fun country. There's like a 3 month stretch you can't avoid seeing the air. Yeah, I quite literally saw the air literally a couple hours ago when I shoveled my driveway. Where do you think the world came from? Like the universe or the planet? Without God, we're just developed slime. It evolved. I wouldn't say slime. Evolved organism. Sure. Explain the holy fire and how it will not burn you. I don't believe in holy fire. I'm not sure what you're getting at. Bible or any holy book for that matter, it's the claim, not the evidence. Exactly. Let me ask you this: if God were real, would you believe in him? Would I believe in God if he were real? Is that what you're asking me? Would I believe in God if he were real? If there were evidence for God beyond a shadow of a doubt, then yeah, I believe. Name one living thing that came from non-living. The last universal common ancestor, made up of complex RNA structures with the ability to self-replicate. But you know, Joshua, thank you so much for the rose. I appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate that. Just look at the human body. Many things need to be right in order for us to be alive. Are you talking about the same human body that can get cancer and appendicitis for no reason whatsoever? Is that human body? Is that what we're talking about? Hey, Hugh, nice to see you again. What's up, Truffle Slip? How you doing today? How's your day? God is hiding inside a water painting, hiding from you all, and I don't blame him. I really can't blame him at this point. That still came from a living thing, by the way. Then you don't know about abiogenesis, and that's completely fine. Just don't speak on it. There's nothing to prove God but your own faith, but there's also nothing to disprove God. The only reason that there's quote unquote nothing to disprove God is because people keep moving them outside of the goalposts of what we can verify with our knowledge. You know, if we claim that God's on top of a mountain and then go to the top of the mountain and don't see him, they'll just say, "Oh, he's in space." And then if we go to space and not see him up there, it's like, "Oh, he's outside of time and logic and space and matter and literally everything." But he's there though; he exists. Like, ugh, just give me a break. If God gave a yearly speech like a State of the Union address, I would believe. Yeah, fair. Me too. Edgar, I see you. I don't know what you want me to do with that, dude. May God bless you. Thanks. May God bless you too. Yay, God bless you. Yeah. Stop spamming. Jesus, fuck. Geometry is the math of life. Chemistry is materials. Biology, the order only a coder can create. Or I'm not. Again, you don't understand natural processes, and that's fine not to. But I don't know what you want me to do with that. I believe that there is. I think the point is there is no proof. Faith is believing without that evidence. That seems like a very, very highly inefficient way to save people. I'm going to give you no evidence whatsoever because I prefer you to have faith because, yippee. Like, come on, dude. Do you hate God in the Christian sense? They're all gods. I don't hate any gods. Hate's a very strong word. I dislike the character, but as far as hatred, I would actually have to believe something exists before I hate it. So no, I don't hate any gods. I just don't believe in any. Who is the maker of Earth? I don't think there's a who. I think it's just natural processes like gravity and protoplanetary disks that, you know. Heaven is just a loading screen, if you will. His city is all abode, including the streets. The streets made of gold? That sounds very awful. No. Not supposed to have evidence. You're just supposed to believe in God. Yeah, why would I choose to believe in your particular God over all of the other ones? You know, that seems weird. Also, Paul Toast. Thank you. I almost said Paul Toast. I don't know why. I don't know. But thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Do you hate believers? I hate some believers, but only because of their actions and not because of the fact that they believe, you know? If we discovered multiverse theory was true, theists would still move the goalposts. Exactly. Well, God's outside of the multiverse, you know? He's outside. What's your name? You can call me Hugh. Hugh is fine. See here. Let's see. Anything anyone does is to a feel good feeling, and emotions are chemicals in the brain. That is correct. Yeah, it's neurotransmitters and hormones. You know, that's all there is to it. The streets are made out of stone, but there are no shadows. As light is everywhere, but there's no people. These are words for sure. They would just say God as the one being that can live in all verses with continuity of identity. Yeah, and even if you found that to be physically impossible, like they still make up an excuse. That's because religion dies with new discovery, so you know they can't have it. Oh, there has to be some creator that created us. The only thing that created you were your parents. I'm gonna show you how they created you real quick. I can't show the a gif of it, but you know, 1 second. Unhide, please. Oliver the Rock, thank you for the follow. But yeah, they did this. Your parents did this thing right here, and they created you. That's how that works. Some argue saying life is too complicated for it to just happen. What are your thoughts on it? I can't think of anything else in my life or anybody's life that's created to be complex solely for the sake of it being complex. Like things that are complex that I see around me are complex for a reason, but the body's needlessly complex and has some very imperfect features. So I can't see a perfect God creating that or a perfect anybody really. Maybe I should be an apologist. I feel like if I were to be an apologist or a preacher, I'd be really, really good at it, but I couldn't live with myself. Do you believe in a higher power? No, I don't believe in any higher powers personally. If there isn't a God, then there isn't meaning to life. Not necessarily. You can find purpose in your own individual life without there being some man in the sky telling you what that's supposed to be. It's like you take a slave and you take the chains off of him. What if he asks like, oh well, who am I supposed to serve now? You know? No, you just do your thing. I just want to know there's no drawbacks to being a Christian, but being a good person. So why don't you just in case? There's no drawbacks to being a good person, you know. So there's plenty of drawbacks that can come with Christianity, though, like not having your time, not loving people to the maximum that you should love them. There's a lot of different things. I'm so sad right now. Why are you sad, Matthew? Kick live over on Kick. Do you think prayer works? Like when I pray, I feel like I'm speaking out loud and asking for something that I could fix myself. I don't think prayer works. No. And plus, if you think God's plan is perfect, then you shouldn't think prayer works. That prayer works either. How do you think you were born? I'm gonna try to answer that in a way that doesn't get me banned on TikTok. So, one night in July 1995, my parents were hanging out. They were friends. They were just hanging out, playing cards or whatever, just the two of them. You know, just doing things that friends do. You know, they were friends for years. And then they were drinking. And then one day they decided while they were hanging out, like, oh man, I'm kind of tipsy right now. Kind of tipsy, you know. I'm a little, you know, looking kind of, you know. And the other was like, oh, you looking kind of, you know. And so they didn't. Let me stop. You get the gist. Brian, thank you for the likes. You just pooped your pants? Wipe him up. What the hell? throw him out? Have you ever gave God a chance? Yeah, I was a Christian for 19 years of my life, for the first 19 years. Has there ever been a time in your life when you've seen a creation without a creator? No, no, there hasn't been. But I'm gonna need you to show why the universe itself is an intentional creation and not just existence. Because yeah, if you use a false analogy, I'll just use one right back to show you why it doesn't work. There's many writings and witnesses of Jesus. The witnesses are all either not verified or anonymous. But B, even if Jesus did exist, it still wouldn't prove God. Because the stories could very well be embellished about him, especially if it's claiming supernatural shit like him rising from the dead. Why'd you stop believing? I looked at the evidence and found all of it unconvincing. And for something that I was so hard up for and something that I believed in so wholeheartedly, I thought the evidence should have been more concrete. Is it day now, not night, right? Yeah, for me it's 4:54 p.m. That's also what's up, Zeev. Because why would it make any sense for there to be the creation of without some sort of creator? I don't presuppose creation. You do. I say the universe is just existence. We exist, and humans exist, and everything just exists. You're the one saying, "Oh, it's intentionally created for no reason whatsoever. Therefore, there was a creator." It's just a circular argument, basically. God exists because we are the creation, and we are the creation because God exists. Circular. Has God ever showed himself to you? No, he has not actually. Earth is all the evidence. Earth is the evidence of protoplanetary disks and gravity, sure, but of a God figure, not so much. Our Savior is coming soon. I don't know what you want me to do with that. If there's no God, how did everything get created? And how did you came to be? We're getting a lot of repeat questions today. Maybe a lot of people are just scrolling in, and it's like repeat Sunday or something. I don't know, but yeah, I think that I was created by my parents when they did a thing, and my mom got pregnant. Things are only complex to someone who isn't educated on the field. It follows along the God of the gaps. Just because you don't think it's just because you think it's complex doesn't mean it can't be explained by someone else. Exactly. Like me personally, haven't learned the science of car engines or how they work, so I don't know how car engines work. But one thing I'm not gonna do is say, "Oh, I don't know how car engines work, therefore fairies did it." Every time I turn on my CRV, there's a bunch of fairies in the engine making it go vroom. Like, nah. What evidence would you accept? Something tangible, optimally. Something tangible. Or I'll settle for a logical something that shows it can't be any other way, but something tangible. If there was enough evidence, would you believe or follow Jesus? I would acknowledge he exists, but would I follow him? Then it comes down to a moral issue, and that's got to be ironed out before I decide to. You don't need any evidence to know if something is real or not. I mean, kind of do, typically. That's how we normally run our lives. God created combustion, just that easy. You know what time it is? Nah, stop. It's too early. The government controls near everything. I'd say a God ain't too far of a thought. I think I can see why people would believe in a God, but I just see zero evidence whatsoever. I respect that you don't believe in. Just curious about why you don't. I explained the in-depth. God damn it! I need to get this tooth filled in. I explained it in depth in my second pin video on this account, or is it my first? It's one of the two. One is frequently asked questions, and one is the story of why I stopped believing. And but basically read the Bible. The Bible made me think about God differently by the time I finished it. So I looked into apologetics, and they always had an answer, which I found kind of suspicious because I was like, nothing else in my life is just completely perfect to where it's always an answer for it. Like that seems kind of odd to me, So I was like, wait, why, like, are they lying? Like, surely there's evidence for this, right? So I looked at the evidence, prayed for an answer, looked at the logical arguments, looked at the historical evidence, looked at the archaeological evidence, and all of it sucked for different reasons. You say "God damn it" with who in that phrase? Oh no, I said a phrase, guys. Oh, I said a phrase. I said a phrase that has God in it. Therefore, God is real. Oh no. I better not say "fuck me." That means I'm inviting people to, come and do things to me. Also, thank you for the likes. Appreciate y'all. How about you pray to God show himself to you and wait if he reveals himself? Is that good for you? I already did that, and here I am. So If I already did it, there's only a few possible explanations for why I'm still an atheist. A, he did hear me and does intend to answer that prayer. It's just, not time yet. B, I didn't pray in the right way, quote unquote. Or C, God doesn't exist or otherwise couldn't hear me. You have evidence? Let's hear it, Steele Weston. Let's hear your evidence. The military has a chaplain corps. It seems like they recognize some validity of the religion. I mean, they believe, the people up top believe in the religion, so they establish these sorts of things. Plus, most of the people in the country that we live in believe in the religion, so naturally. My science teacher says she didn't believe in God, but something else created the universe. Do you agree with her? Not necessarily. No, I don't think anything created the universe, because to say that something created the universe would have to say that the universe went from not existing to existing, and I don't think that's the case. I think it's always existed in some form. So when you're being wounded from behind, what do you scream? Oh, my non-existing Lord! Yeah. Dislike this so much, keeping you in my prayers. The Lord is coming. That's very non-threatening. Appreciate that. For my evidence, I need to know your definition of a god. It's not up to me to define what a god is as an atheist, right? I define God as the plastic fork on my desk. Oh, there's a plastic fork on my desk, therefore God is real. It's for the people that believe in a God, they would have to have that conception of a God, not for me to have some conception of a God to be corrected on. Please listen to Bryce Crawford's story. Who is that? And also, does it give actual evidence for a God, or just claims of like, oh, I was healed and God chose me as one of his favorites, and I don't know. Can I join you and try to tell you how God is real? There's no guest request button. It's not my I'm streaming to TikTok from Streamlabs, and they don't give me the option for guest request. Yes, he does. Oh, then it's probably not something I can use then, because if I take his personal experience seriously, I have to take everyone's personal experience seriously. Meaning that A, God picks favorites, and B, that also all religions are true, because I've heard plenty of Hindu personal experiences. I've heard plenty of Muslim personal experiences. I've heard a couple of Jewish ones too. So all of them are true. That's all that would lead me to. The only way I can see a God existing is if they started the Big Bang, then immediately vanished. Possibly. One of the main reasons I left theism was because I learned studies show theists are happier / have less existential dread, but I guess atheists, but that felt like a cop-out for life. Yeah, fair. Yeah, if I left solely because I just didn't see the evidence, but it's a valid enough reason for sure. I say valid enough like it's up to me to tell you what was valid or not. We are his children. He loves all of us the same. So basically, let me get this straight. God is real because of the personal experience of somebody who says that something happened to them that shows that God was moving in their life, but God didn't help the people in like the little kids at the St. Jude Children's Research Center who are dying from leukemia every day. Is that? But he loves all of them equally. Is that what I'm hearing? Please, by all means, correct me if I'm wrong. But is that what I'm hearing? God's real because he did this good thing for this one person, but he ignored all these other people going through horrible, horrible shit. Like, is that what I'm hearing? I wrote a book about magical ponies, so therefore magical ponies are real. Yeah, exactly. And plus, there were like 15 million witnesses for your magical ponies. Therefore, it happened. So I don't know what to tell you. The Lord doesn't choose favorites. Yeah, I don't know. It's not just one personal experience. There are so many things that proved it. So, do you accept Muslims' personal experience, or do you not accept Muslims' personal experience? Because me, I don't accept any of them. I say that all of them are naturally explainable, and that they just want to chalk it up to the God that they already believe in. But, which one of you are right? Haven't heard those? I have. I've heard plenty of them. In fact, I'm even reading the Quran. I'm halfway through it. And don't worry, I'm not gonna be a Muslim by the end of it. It's a pretty awful book, but yeah, I have. I've heard some Hindus' personal experiences. They claim that Krishna, Vishnu, Brahma, and their different the gods they have in their pantheon help them through things. So I've heard a lot from a lot of people. Unless you either want me to take none of them seriously or to be an omnist. Which one is it? Have yet to see or receive any non-religious evidence. Same here, who's wizard. I've been doing this for a while, so yeah, I think that's an issue. Kids are getting murked in Myanmar in a civil war, but God loves everybody. Exactly. Yeah, there's literal kids right now being sex trafficked around the planet, but yep, God loves everybody, apparently. He helped this random dude, I don't know, heal from a car crash or something, or not die in a car crash, even though he wasn't going to die in a car crash. So I guess he's real, but yeah, all the kids getting talking about it. It's just it always upsets me. Like it's just used to transport drugs in their corpses. It's just awful, dude. It's awful. God saved the orange man, but not the people in the Holy Land because context. Can't forget the context. My whole bloodline died as God plans trust. Exactly. You know, all praise God. Who created you? My parents. Back in July 1995, they did a thing that was responsible for my creation. Do you believe in any smaller gods? No, I don't believe in any gods personally. God did. Prove it. Brian, thank you for the likes. It's not like the evidence we have for George Washington or Abe Lincoln is any more reliable than evidence of Jesus. I'm not seeing why we're harping on Jesus so much. You know, I'm really not getting it because I couldn't give a shit about whether Jesus existed. I mean that's a whole other story. I don't go too far in depth with that. I'm talking about God here, the God. You know, not whether an apocalyptic rabbi existed. The shroud. Look up the shroud of Jesus. He loves you, friend. I've looked up the shroud of Jesus, and it's a 13th century art piece. That's all it is. The carbon dating confirms it's a 13th century art piece. It sprung up around the 13th century, and all of a sudden it's like dates to the 13th century. So I mean that's kind of odd to me. Um, Also, the way that the image of Jesus is on the shroud when it's laid flat, it wouldn't be that way if it were laid over him when he was lying down. It would have been a lot more stretched out because laid over him, got the blood stains on it, and then you take it and lay it flat. The image is going to stretch out. It doesn't, so it's very obviously fake. Micro gods, yeah, micro gods, 2-inch gods. All the proof is in the Bible. I've read the Bible twice. The Bible claims that there's talking snakes, talking donkeys, talking bushes, and people that can raise from the dead. So I don't take the Bible seriously. Jesus sacrificed his life on the cross to save all of us from our sins so we may go to heaven. Oh, we're just back to preaching instead of sticking to our other point. All right, fair enough. I could see Jesus existing, maybe not as supernatural aspects, but as the person himself could have. Yeah, exactly. It's like, so I don't really debate it one way or the other because it's like, okay, let's assume he did exist. Who's to say he wasn't just some dude that inspired a cult to write stories about him during a time where that was an executable offense? You're so stubborn? No, I just don't take bullshit seriously. I'm not saying it to be disrespectful. I promise I'm not. But if somebody's going to hand me a jar of piss and tell me it's sweet tea, I'm not gonna sit here and drink it when I know it's piss. It's called faith. Why would I have faith in your particular religion over all the other ones, though? There are stories about George Washington that are fake and no one should believe, like the cherry tree story. Exactly. Like, once they start claiming supernatural shit, then I'm going to not believe the supernatural stuff. So if you don't believe in God, do you think Satan is real? No, I don't think Satan's real either. I think Satan's also made up. A random human isn't about to be like, okay, guys, God is real, believe me. Sure, they could be. Sure, they could do that. Absolutely, they could. I can think of a random storybook character right now. Karog. His name is Karog. He has skin like diamonds. He can jump to the moon, and he can shoot pies out of his ass. Everybody can come up with random stuff on the spot. The Bible's full of dark fairy tales. I would agree. It's if you actually read it all the way through, fucking yikes. My ex-girlfriend used to say that God isn't a matter on the periodic table, so that's why he must be real. What do you think about that? God isn't matter on the periodic table, so that's why. So that's why he must that be real? You mind rewriting that, Jared? I'm not quite getting it because I could take that sentence two ways. And I'm not sure which one to answer. Christianity is far superior than Judaism and Islam. I got a bunch of Jews and Muslims that would like to have a word with you. Holy Kool-Aid did an amazing video on the evidence of Jesus existing, and he debunked the claim we have the same evidence for him as George Washington. I mean, even if he did, what am I going to do with that? Who sent Jesus to earth? If Jesus did exist, he was born from two people having sex, like everyone else. GX Zen, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. There was DNA found with 12 DNA markers instead of 24, indicating one parent. You can't even get the chromosomal claims correct. But beside the point, that's not how we do blood testing. So it was definitely a fake story. It was some Ron Wyatt BS. I can promise you. A matter of fact, look up Ron Wyatt and his claims. RON and his last name is Wyatt, WYATT. He was a nurse. He wasn't an archaeologist. Didn't find blood with half the chromosomes. Didn't find ark this or tomb that. If Jesus did exist and he was executed and like executed by crucifixion, he was thrown into a mass grave. They didn't give people that were guilty of blasphemy or that were guilty of whatever they charged Jesus with. They didn't give them their own tombs. This world is proof of Jesus. A creation needs a creator. I don't presuppose creation though. I call the world existence. I think that's a far more intentional word. You're the one presupposing intentional creation to get you to a God. So it's a circular argument. Basically, God is real because the world is created, and the world is created because God is real. Like, no, thank you. Can I guest? There's no guest requests open. Sorry, it's not my thing. It's Streamlabs' limitation. Why genes are recessive yet men account for half the world's population? That's not natural. I don't think you know how biology works. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you on that one. Recessive doesn't mean that there should be much further less than half. And I think it's what, like 48% of the world's population are men. So it's like, I mean, that's right about where we should expect with chromosomal differences. What's your evidence that God doesn't exist? The burden of proof isn't on me. Don't be lazy, Jonathan. Why couldn't the Bible talk about any other group of people besides the Near East? Even the Book of Mormon at least tried to do that. Yeah, you would think that an all-powerful God who inspired his holy word would know about the planet outside of West Asia, but I guess not. Organized religions were created to control the masses. I would agree for sure. Sexual reproduction is actually possible in certain species, like some form of lizard. Oh, asexual reproduction. Yeah, in some species, but not humans. I'm here to declare my God Jungkook reigns, or just to cause trouble, whichever. Definitely cause trouble. Also, just because a God exists doesn't mean that God is worthy of worship. I wouldn't worship any Abrahamic God, even if it revealed itself to me. Yeah, any God that tells me to worship it, or expects me to worship it solely for creating me, it's just that's pretty narcissistic. How did Moses split the sea? I'll do you one better. I don't even think Moses existed. There's like zero evidence for Moses. No evidence of a mass exodus. Like it's one. If we go even further back than Jesus, the evidence gets a lot more murky. God knew about Utah, but not North America. Could you imagine? Right. Amber Nicole, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. I've been here for a while and no one has any proof. I've been doing these streams since like November. So far, zero proof, zero evidence. At best, even if you choose to ignore people's fallacies, like it'll get you to like deism. So we're batting for zero. Joel, thank you for that follow. Appreciate it. Everything that exists has an explanation for its existence. If the universe had an explanation for its existence, the explanation is God. The universe exists. So what you did right there in the end is a baseless presupposition. And Larry, I'll say Larry, thank you for the follow. I probably would have butchered that name, but no, that's a baseless presupposition. Like, if you want to, like, firstly, science doesn't make any claims about what happened before the Big Bang, and a cyclical model could still mathematically work out. Red Moon, thank you for the follow too. Appreciate it. It could still work out, like a cyclical model could still work out, but let's assume it didn't and the universe did have a defined start, right? Who's to say that start wasn't completely unthinking or natural? You're the one trying to say, oh, it's a God, and not only is it a God, but it's my preferred one. Like, come on, man. What are we doing? Who is your Lord or God? Nobody is. I don't have one. Is it a river that rivers are turning red and Los Angeles had devastating wildfires? If you're talking about the rivers in Peru and Argentina, I would say that is a coincidence. Because Revelation says rivers of blood, not rivers of organic dye in Argentina and sandstone erosion in Peru. It didn't say red rivers, it said blood rivers. B, Revelation 16 says that oceans are going to turn into blood, and that ugly festering stores are going to break out on the people that took the mark of the beast. It said both of these things would have to happen before rivers turn it into blood, so that's just a double whammy. But even beside the point, red rivers don't really prove much here. Oceans are turning into blood. I'm gonna need to see your source on that one. Madden, thank you for the likes. But even also like Los Angeles having fires, that's from poor urban planning. That's not from a god doing it. You don't know if God exists would be a more honest position. I don't know if a God exists, but I'm not gonna say that one does based on some fallacious nonsense. What people say about the universe now was the same argument regarding the sun 2,000 years ago. Exactly. How do people from the Bible know Jesus? Which people from the Bible? Are you talking about the ones that were writing about him toward the time that he was written about? Or are you talking about like people before Jesus? Because if you're talking about before Jesus, I mean, basically they made manuscripts like a Jewish manuscript mythology, Jewish mythology manuscript. My bad. And then it was Jesus was retrofitted to fulfill those prophecies. The same way I could write about a book one year that says one day the turtle what's his name Jacob the turtle will ascend to kinghood, and then I write a sequel like 100 years later. It says like Jacob the turtle is here and he ascended to kinghood. Knowing full well about the first story. I'm not going to debate existence, but the thing I don't understand is why people would hate Jesus. I don't hate Jesus at all. I don't, if he existed, he's a dude that caused a stir and got BTFO'd for it. That's, it happens. But if he didn't exist, then that's not a good enough reason to hate him either. Just, his existence is up in the air for me. It doesn't matter if he existed one way or the other. So I don't know what to tell you. The existence of God is only based off faith. Even worshippers acknowledge this. So why should I have faith in the existence of one particular God over all the other God claims that are saying, oh, just have faith in ours, just have faith in ours. We're not going to prove our claims, but dedicate yourself to our religion and just have faith in it. Like which one am I going to, which one do I pick? Burden of proof is on the one making the positive claim, buddy. Ooh. Still going on some you can't disprove its existence. I've been getting a lot of that lately. I don't think I've gotten that even a quarter as much as I did on my old account as I am now. Prove he ain't real, disprove him. Like people are a lot more lazy in this algorithm. Have a good rest of your day, Bryant. Appreciate the likes. There's historical proof of Jesus. I believe God exists because I'm alive today. I believe I'm alive because my central nervous system and my brain and my lungs and my heart and all that good stuff, it still works. That's why I think I'm alive. Not because of an invisible guy in the sky. He's not real? I agree. He is. That motherfucker is not real. Funny to me how the people that lived before Jesus are now burning in hell because they never met him. Yeah, all those innocent Jewish people and Zoroastrians and Hindus and pagans are just burning in a big fiery furnace right now. I hate to see it. Honestly, skill issue at that point. Universe cannot exist under different circumstances. Its existence must have a cause. The cause must be something that exists by necessity, not something contingent that's necessary being as God. Again, this is just a baseless presupposition. Because you're making claims about the universe that even the physicists themselves, who are more educated than you or I will ever be in a field, are not making. It's just baseless apologist nonsense that you're getting from, like... Matter of fact, I think even those exact words were used by... God damn it, who said those literal exact words? Because they like to copy off of each other. I can't think of it right now, but I know the exact apologist you copied that off of. But you're making claims about the universe that even physicists don't make, and they get paid. They get literally paid. It is their quite literal career to do the math and check the physics and see what works and what doesn't. And none of them are making any claims about what happened before the Big Bang. You're the one making claims about what happened before the Big Bang, and not only are you making claims about it, but you're putting a god in that position for literally no reason whatsoever than other than because you want to. We should be calling the Bible fiction. We did it with Greek mythology, Christian mythology. We will eventually, I feel like. Maybe in a few thousand years if we're still around, but yeah, until then, we're kind of cooked. What's your justification for logic and ethics about ending up in a contradictory worldview? Logic is a conceptual framework that we use to parse our reality, and ethics are another framework that we use to parse how we should interact with each other in a way that reduces harm to make sure that we can continue the survival of our species. People get paid for a lot of things, doesn't make them correct. Um, I'm going to trust somebody who actually studies it, though, over a random TikTok or a random dude in YouTube chat who wants to argue for their book with talking snakes in it, though, every single day of the week. If you put two people in front of me and you put a fire in front of me and I'm about to put my hand in it, and there's somebody who knows what temperature does to the human hand, like fiery temperature, who biologists or they know about biology, they know about things like that. They say, hey, if you put your hand in that fire, it'll burn your hand, and I don't think you want that. The other person, some random fuck from TikTok or YouTube, and they say, oh, you can put your hand in that fire. This Bible says that God will save you and make sure your hand doesn't get burnt. Guess which one I'm going to trust? The one with the education. Appealing to authority is crazy. I'm going to appeal to somebody who's educated. Absolutely. You know? The same way you don't go to Cletus's house to get heart surgery, I'm going to not go to people in TikTok chat for where the universe came from. I'm going to go to the physicist. If you need heart surgery, you're going to go to a heart surgeon, not Jim Bob from down the street. And then when you're sitting in an ambulance, imagine if I chase you down saying like, ha ha, appeal to authority. No, that's not how that works. Modern science sucks. Prove me wrong. Modern science says that if you throw your phone off a cliff, it's going to break. But I bet you trust that part, don't you? That's what's crazy. Greek, Hindu, Shinto, and many other beliefs are myth according to Christianity, although there's just as much historical evidence to support each belief. Exactly. Should we be bound by empirical knowledge even after some physics studies show things obey different unknown laws in other dimensions? I think we should try to for things that we dedicate ourselves to. Sure, we should work with the best possible information. That's not modern science. Oh, modern science also says you shouldn't. Nah, never mind. I'm gonna get banned on TikTok if I say that. But what I'm getting at is that people that try to say that modern science or science in general shouldn't be trusted are people that trust it for literally every other part of their life, just not the part that disproves their God. Modern science doesn't disprove God, only because y'all keep moving them out of the scientific goalposts. You know, that's literally the only reason. No other reason than that. Science can say, oh, here's proof that this God doesn't exist. Oh, well, God's outside of science. That's all you would do. You take the goalpost, you put it in a rocket ship, and fly that shit to the moon. If the earth is habitable, why do people die type question? I don't even know what you're getting at, dude. This is disgraceful. The only reason you people are here I'm guessing is because of the person you think is not real. Then prove his existence or stop making claims. Which one is it? Which one are we going for? I mean, empirical knowledge wasn't used as a total rule back in the day of geniuses, nor did I say it should be used, but also we shouldn't toss away our convictions or completely dedicate ourselves to nonsense, or at the very least things that we can't at least kind of allude to using empirical evidence. Empirical evidence says that there's no dragon in my closet. Just because I can't be 100% sure that there's no dragon in my closet due to the fact that I'm not looking in my closet right now doesn't mean I shouldn't live as if though there's a dragon in my closet. What's your proof of God is not real? Mac, the burden of proof isn't on me. I'm not making a positive claim. Please don't be lazy. The Bible is literally evidence. It's like saying if Abraham Lincoln is real, where's the evidence? I mean, there's evidence for Abraham Lincoln. Let's get that out the way. But even B, there's no reason to not believe in Abraham Lincoln because there's no supernatural claims made about Abraham Lincoln. 16th president of the United States, was the president during the Civil War, helped free the slaves, all this good stuff. Nothing supernatural about any of those claims, so I'm inclined to not question them too much. Now, if somebody said Abraham Lincoln was, died on the cross and rose again 3 days later and was the son of God and multiplied fish and bread out of fucking nothing and turned water into wine and healed blind people and rose people from the dead, I'm going to look at Abraham Lincoln a little differently. You get what I'm saying? He won't believe in God because his heart has been hardened. That's a take. All the photos when you die, wherever you go, heaven, that's where you'll find out. Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon is crazy. The reason we know that this happened was because of eyewitness accounts. We don't have any contemporary eyewitness accounts for Jesus. I can promise you we don't. The only people who wrote about Jesus were, I wouldn't say only people, but the historians who wrote about Jesus didn't mention them firsthand, nor did they claim to. If you don't believe me, read the Testimonium Flavianum or the Annals. None of them mention a contemporary Jesus account. And the only verse I think of that can mention quote unquote hundreds of witnesses is what is it? 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verse 6. And that's just written about in the Bible. And I don't believe that for the same reason you wouldn't believe a book that I hand you that says that I jumped to the moon last week because 15 million people saw it. Didn't Lincoln hunt vampires though? I saw him do it in a movie. I think it was a documentary called, what was it, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer or something? Yeah, it was pretty cool. Pretty cool documentary. He did hunt vampires. The burden of proof that God is not real is on you when you make the claim that he doesn't exist. I'm saying there's no good reason to believe he exists. That's what I'm saying. Again, stop being lazy. If you want to continue to be lazy, you can be lazy outside of my stream. There are hundreds of eyewitness accounts in text outside the Bible. See, there we go. We're getting somewhere. The Bible is not a single author. Sure, Paul wrote First Corinthians in the book that mentions the hundreds of eyewitnesses, but even beside the fact, all of the quote unquote witnesses that would have witnessed the events outside of the Bible would have had to have not actually been there. Like, I just want you to think about that for a hot second. How can people who were around after the Bible claim to be witnesses if they're writing about something after the Bible has already been published or at least compiled? Also, there's his tomb closed. Which tomb? Because a bunch of different people are claiming tombs. Bunch of different people. Chaos is happening in the chat. It's not the worst. Atheists are the worst scientists to ever exist. Oh, yikes. The best scientists were all believers. Explain that. I mean, that's just a claim, dude. I don't know what you want me to do with that. As a matter of fact, the worst scientists were believers. The best were atheists. Now what? Where do we go from here? Oh, nowhere? Oh, because we're both just stating random, useless opinions? Oh, okay, got you. If you were given omnipotent power, would you cure cancer? If you said yes, congrats, you're probably not a theist. If you said no, you'd probably go to hell. Yeah. If I had all power, I would not even make cancer. It wouldn't even be a thing. Why would I do that? You know? Make cancer? Make a disease where people can get tumors that eat them alive and kill them eventually? Shut down their systems? Spread through their blood? Are we fucking joking? That's your perfect creator? Perfection? Cancer? I wouldn't make appendixes that can randomly burst in even the healthiest of people. Like what? Show of hands, who in here would make cancer if they were all powerful? Show of hands. I love you. Aww, you're making me blush, Adam. Aww. But yeah, who would do it? Because I sure as fuck wouldn't do it. I need to see a show of hands. Who would create cancer if they had all power? Or if you had all power right now, would you end cancer? Not me. Yeah, definitely not me. Not me, that's for sure. W, not me's. Yeah. Because if you were sitting here listening to me speak and not answering the question, holy shit, dude. What are we believing? That's your perfect creator? Cancer? In kids? To me, as an atheist, it's an unfortunate side effect of our evolution. You know, we evolved an unfortunate disease that we can get randomly. Okay. Hate to see it. It's unfortunate. It sucks. But it makes sense in an otherwise random universe. You think a perfect God created cancer, though? God cannot be all powerful and all good at the same time. Exactly. Not me. Damn sure not me. Good afternoon, bro. What is up? You changed your name, the Unchained Skeptical Titty Lover? You changed your name, dude? Hell yeah. Isaac Newton, Blaise Pascal, Gregor Mendel, Johann Kepler, Galileo Galilei, Michael Faraday, Robert Boyle, Francis Bacon, and George Lemaitre? Okay, sure. But almost everybody was religious, though. So no shit, all the scientists from back then are going to be religious. Almost everybody was. It's like going to Africa and then looking at their scientists and then wondering why they're all black. Like, is it a cow farm? There's going to be cows outside. They found God in science. Do your research. That's just outright incorrect. If they did, they would have won a Nobel Prize for it. I can promise you they didn't. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Sure, but that just means there's no reason to believe in a thing without evidence. You can't prove to me right now that there's not a bottle of Klonopin on my desk, but you have no reason to believe that there is if you have no other grounding for it. Personal experiences, if he was all-knowing, I guess all-known, what would it mean to be special, God losing meaning? It sounds very weird to me. I want you to think about this for a second, Irvin. So your job as Christians is to spread the gospel, make sure people can be saved. But then to answer the question of atheists about why God doesn't show himself, you say, oh, because then it wouldn't be special and everybody would be saved. Huh? You want people to be saved or you want people to not be saved? Because for me personally, if I wanted everyone to be saved, I would show myself. If I were God and the thing that's separating people from being saved or not, the people that's separating the people that I love, by the way, claim to love, from being saved or not, is me showing myself, I'm going to show myself. Why the fuck wouldn't I show myself? Oh, because then everyone would be saved. Isn't that the whole fucking point? Isn't that the quite literal point? It wouldn't be special. What? Who the fuck cares if it's special or not? I thought the whole thing was to save the people that he quote unquote loves so much. It's a joke and it's a cop-out. It wouldn't be special. It wouldn't be special. Oh no. It's not special. I guess let's let this guy burn in hell. That's an otherwise decent person. Give me a fucking break. The evidence is within you. If you can't see, then you don't believe. Huh? Evidence is within you. Okay, what do you mean? If you can't see, then you don't believe. I didn't say that. Like, huh? It is a belief. You don't need evidence, and the Bible is evidence. Y'all can't choose if there's no evidence, it's about faith, or that there is evidence. It's like y'all switch hit between the two. Like, come on, which is it? Is the entire Bible evidence, meaning that there is evidence, or is it not about evidence and about faith? At least pick your argument. You don't need evidence for everything you do you? No, but just the things I dedicate my life to. Yeah, actually. If I'm going to be in a relationship with a girlfriend or something, I'm going to need to know she exists. Right? Not just some random, oh, here's a phone with some text messages in it, meant for you in particular, even though they could be meant for anybody. To keep it simple, I like to say that there are modern witnesses and miracles of illnesses that aren't curable. I'm not seeing the, miracles of uncurable illnesses being good for me. Because people of, again, all religions claim that their God is the one that's curing a bunch of different illnesses. Plus, it makes no sense to me why God would choose to cure some people's uncurable illnesses and not the ones of kids dying from bone cancer. I did change my name, yes, indeed. The word skeptic has got me a lot further in the algorithm than the word atheist did, so that's why I changed it. The only evidence that you need is that you wake up every morning. I wake up every morning because my brain still works, my lungs still work, my heart still works, and those are a result of the electrical impulses in my body still, actively firing throughout my body. Not proof of any gods there. Faith is believing what you know ain't so. Exactly. God is a spirit. He must be found in spiritual ways, not test tubes. That explains why people's given a bunch of different spiritual woo-woo nonsense to explain it. Like, what would it take for you to believe in it? Him coming down and tapping me on the shoulder and saying like, hey, here I am, let's talk. I could still be hallucinating, but at least I have something to work with. Numerology, sacred geometry, even quantum mechanics point to creation and design on an atomic level. How does sacred geometry point to creation? Thing looks pretty, therefore God. Thing looks pretty, therefore God. Are we joking? Do you remember what happened before you were born? No, because I didn't exist yet. Have you made an honest search for him? As long as you live with your own reason and logic, you'll never see. Yes, I have. I was a Christian for 19 years and wanted to remain a Christian and did not remain a Christian. wanted to keep the faith, didn't want to stop believing, but the evidence was just not there, so had to toss it away. But there are many cases where people have experienced Jesus and he's talked to them. There's also cases where people have experienced Muhammad and Allah and talked to them. There's cases where people experience Brahma and Vishnu and Zeus and Odin and all these other gods of other different religions. So if you want me to take the experiences of people who claim to have heard Jesus and talked to Jesus seriously, I have to also take the other people seriously, to be fair. And what do we do from that? Either God is real and shows himself to people through a bunch of different ways, in which case God's just a trickster, or all gods exist, or none of them exist and people are hallucinating or lying. You need the .avi file for what? Also, when I hear .avi, I get a shudder down my spine because of this one really disgusting video from my teenage years. I see respect and faith as being something that must be earned. Exactly. Big on the respect too. God will be with you spiritually, not physically. Take that up with the people in the chat who are saying that there is physical evidence. I can show you hundreds of miracles that science can't explain. I mean, okay, then what? You're lying about people experiencing Muhammad. Those other people have experienced demons. Oh, take it up with them, because they'll say you experienced something wrong too. I agree with Jewish people that Christianity and Islam is incorrect. I agree with Christians that Judaism and Islam is incorrect. And I agree with the Muslims that Judaism and Christianity is incorrect. You know. Many religions believe that God shouldn't interfere, so there's no proof either way. But if God is, it would be better to pick a faith. I'm gonna pick Hinduism then. Does that satisfactory to you? You know, I'll go get some statues. Pray to them, because that's literally God I'm looking at. Because it interacts with the world in the form of idols. Do some things like that. You find that satisfactory, or no? You will find God at the end of yourself, under my feet or at the top of my head. You fly in a plane without seeing the pilot. Why not believe in God without seeing him? A, you can see the pilot if you, literally ask to see the pilot or meet the pilot. B, planes can't be flown without pilots. So if you're in a plane that's flying, there must then be a pilot. And C, just because you fly in a plane and you're in a seat where the pilot's obstructed from your view doesn't mean that I have to believe in a God because of it. Who created the world? I don't think it was a who. I think it was natural processes. You make no sense. Do I make no sense, or do you just not like what I have to say because you don't find my lack of belief satisfactory? Muhammad was a pedo. What are you talking about? I do agree with you, but again, take it up with them. Don't take it up with me, man. Take it up with them. They're the ones claiming that they saw him. He talked to him. They claim that Allah was there. They talked to him. They're the ones claiming that, right? So I take it up with them, dude. Don't take it up with me. Just But yeah, based on, because he definitely was. By the way, why make this argument when you're not willing to listen to other people? I am willing to listen to other people, but I'm also not willing to just take bad claims and run with them. Because imagine if I said, "Oh, I want to believe in God again. Give me a good argument," and somebody said, "Whoop de whoop," and I was like, "Oh, there you go. There's my evidence." No, something tangible. I want people to critically think about why they believe the things that they believe, and not just go through their life, front to back, death to birth, letting other people dictate their beliefs to them without actually thinking about it. And when you're trying to actually convert someone else who's throwing back your arguments and showing why they don't make sense, you're forced to think about it. It's a perfect system. How is human evolution created? You think we just appeared out of nothing? No, I don't think we appeared out of nothing. I never said we appeared out of nothing. Evolution, how do I best explain it to like somebody like they're 5? Not to make fun of you, but I gotta simplify it for somebody that's asking honestly. We evolved from an ancestor. That ancestor evolved from an ancestor, all the way back to the last universal common ancestor that was responsible for eventually forming all the life that's on our planet now. That last universal common ancestor was a collection of RNA and other what's the word I'm looking for here, formations, molecules, if we want to get really technical, I don't know, but molecules that were able to self-replicate. Now it's formed through abiogenesis over the course of millions and millions of years. I think you find our lack of belief satisfactory, and most likely you are angry that you have, drum roll please, did you follow it up? Oh, not felt a true connection with God. I just want people to critically think about why they believe the things they believe. The fact that you believe, I'm cool with it. It's fine, but don't then expect me to believe in it if you can't even critically think about your religion enough to explain why you believe in it in a way that can be communicated to other people. You know what I'm saying? Bro, this pissed me off. Go read the Bible. I've read the Bible 2 times. I've read the Bible more times than the average Christian has ever read it. The amount of times that the average Christian reads their Bible is less than one, because most don't even read it. I've read it twice. NIV, not a very good translation, and the NRSV, which is used in seminary. I've read it 2 times. I do my research to the best of my ability. So, I don't know. If spontaneous creation is real, prove it. What spontaneous creation of what? Organic chemicals is the word. Thank you. I was floundering. It did not all come together by accident. The universe did not win the jackpot 5 million times. But there were 5 million tickets, so it had to win on one. You know. But the word 5 million isn't accurate. Let's say 22 sextillion, because that's the number of planets that we can at least verify in our observable universe. 22 sextillion chances. It happens once. It can happen maybe another time too. I believe in aliens personally, but yeah, there were a bunch of different chances. The fact that it happened once when there's a bunch of other planets, even in our own solar system, that we can verify it didn't happen on, is not proof for me. 25% of people in an Islamic town had a dream with Jesus the same night. Can you explain that? I'm not inclined to believe him. It seems kind of like a lie to me. I like going to church. They feed me once a month. We host MTG tournaments and have volleyball Fridays, and they let me play guitar for them. Aww. I like the events in my old church too. God can reveal himself to anyone who seeks him in spiritual ways. I don't know what to tell you on that one. Like, already did? Yeah. The Bible says in many parts that there will be no new scriptures or holy books, making the Book of Mormon void by those passages on their own. Yeah. Also by the fact that if I say never mind, if I said what I wanted to say, I get banned. Why do you want evidence if you already read the Bible? Because the Bible makes claims that are impossible, meaning that there has to be another reason that people believe in it. What's up, Proxy TCG? How you doing? Let's see here. What did I miss? Think about all the things that have to come together perfectly in life. The fact that the God that you're arguing for is the God of just this planet, I mean, that's still bad in and of itself, because this planet's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But beside the point, if he's the God of just this planet, then fine, sure. But if he's the God of the whole universe, that's 68% dark energy and 25% dark matter. I'm not seeing how that's perfect, quote unquote. Let's see here. Have you ever asked God to reveal himself to you? Yes, multiple times. I even did it once on stream not too long ago. Here I am, though. Because nobody's listening. You never sought for God, that's why you haven't found him? No, you just don't find my lack of belief satisfactory, because I don't agree with you. And your faith is shaken by somebody not believing in the things that you believe. So you have to try to tell me what my experiences are. So I mean, you're incorrect, so I don't know what to tell you. Hugh, can you pull up Exodus 21:7-11? Sure, why not? It's a slow stream. Let's do it. Let's see, 21:7-11. Speaking of which, I want some 7-Eleven. Want a big fat pizza from them. Oh, this is one of my favorites. If a man sells his daughter as a servant, she is not to go free as male servants do. If she does not please the master who has selected her for himself, he must let her be redeemed. He has no right to sell her to foreigners because he has broken faith with her. If he selects her for his son, he must grant her the rights of a daughter. If he marries another woman, he must not deprive the first one of her food, clothing, and marital rights. If he does not provide her with these three things, she is to go free without any payment or money. That's a fun one. Just a little condonement of whatever the fuck that is. All right. Do you believe you have a spirit? No, I don't believe in spirits or souls or anything personally. I don't believe in anything supernatural, paranormal, divine, or anything like that. Spiritual, as essential. What other holy books have you read? I'm currently reading the Quran. I'm halfway through it. I won't be a Muslim by the end of it, because to be a Muslim, you have to think that the Quran is the inspired word of God, and it very clearly isn't. So after this, I plan to read the Tanakh, and after that, I plan to read the Bhagavad Gita. Not for conversion's sake, obviously, but for education's sake. You know? I'm a Catholic. Welcome in. Can I ask if you pray for him to reveal himself, and if so, was it in true belief or in denial? Always in true belief back when I was actually a Christian and struggling with my faith. But recently on stream, I guess you could say in denial, because I didn't believe in him, so I was like, okay, I'll do it right now, earnestly, and you know. So yeah, but mostly in true faith. I was a Christian when I was doing all the prayer and crying and all that bullshit. Even if God were not the I'm guessing not the creator of the world, or didn't create the world, we would never know because there's no evidence science. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think agnosticism is fair. But where you go from there, you'd have to have a good reason for it. What makes you think God isn't real? One of the main reasons is that there's just no evidence supporting its existence. And another good reason that I bring up a lot is that the motivations of the God that I used to believe in seem to be human in nature. Like, I don't know why an all-powerful being would want anybody to worship him. That seems kind of weird to me. Pizza or taco? Not only do I choose pizza, but you can ask pizza or literally anything else, and I want to choose pizza. It's my favorite food. I was 5 years old when I was making your claims, Jonathan. I'm just gonna get you out of here. You're a prick. I don't like people like you. I'm sorry. You're a prick. Pizza or taco? Get you on out of here real quick. I'm just sick of reading this shit. Pizza, but sorry for anybody that was having fun with him. I'm just done with him. Pizza, it's my favorite food. Nah, I'm just done. He's just a prick. When I was making your claims, let's just get you on out of here. Have a good rest of your life. People like you. I'm sorry. You're a prick. No, not rest of your life. Just till tomorrow. See you later. See you tomorrow. Bye. Get out. Would you ever consider reading the Tao Te Ching? Tao Te Ching, a very good philosophical book. I might. I might forget the time too. Have a good rest of your life. All right. Yeah, that's an echo. I just wrote a presentation about Saint Sebastian for my church group. Let's go. Let's fucking go. What will convince you that God does exist? Him coming down and talking to me would help convince me. I could still be hallucinating, sure, but it at least gives me something to go off of, or like a logical argument that actually doesn't fail the scrutiny. It's not worship; it's more of a way to life. To choose like Christianity isn't to worship; is to believe. So God doesn't want worship. Is that what you're saying? Harassment and bullying. Oh, jeez, here we go. That's why it's called faith, because you believe something in the absence of evidence. But why would I have faith in your particular religion over all of the other ones, though? Why would I do that? Skadoosh! Yeah, the echo's gone. It should be good. No way we get ancient Mexican history from a white guy named Joseph Smith, right? Mormonism must be wrong, though. There's no maps in that book, and they claim of natives which were never in ancient Mexico. I just came back from the pyramids of Mexico. Right. If God was real, who are we to judge his actions? We shouldn't he have people worship? I'm guessing why shouldn't he have people worship him? So it's kind of contradictory with the idea of free will, that we should just have the free will to believe in God or not, but also that we don't have the free will to use our moral convictions to judge his actions. That seems kind of odd to me. Which is it, free will, or we shouldn't question God? So demons are real, but God isn't. I don't believe in demons either. I think demons are also false. The evidence is everywhere. I look everywhere and I don't see evidence. You know, but tossing away your moral convictions to and for a God that, you know, just asks you to for whatever reason just doesn't seem very. It can give way to a lot of awful things. There is one God. His son was born of a virgin, lived a perfect life, and was crucified for our sins. Prove it. Just prove it. Try proving it. Just try proving it. Prove your claims, right? Get skadoosed. Let me stop. Let's see here. I've thought about this recently. Been trying to find where my spirituality lands, but for evidence, I think we now have focus on tech and other material things that miracles no longer happen or have power. Yeah, I think the miracles don't happen anymore because they never really happened. And that technology just more so proves it rather than like the miracles going away because of being repelled by technology. Voodoo is a prime example too, which concrete evidence that demons exist. But I'm not your bud, pal. No, but I mean, prove it. Prove it. You know, conjure a demon with voodoo. Should I just do a voodoo ritual literally right now? I don't know any voodoo rituals. Why do you think the Quran isn't true? Because it has talking ants in it. Talking ants, it gets science wrong, and also, even if it were true, it's a really, really violent book. Do you believe morality is subjective? The fact that people have different moral convictions shows that it is subjective, yeah. Our solar system is another example. Is our planet too close to the sun, we die. Too far, we die. So God didn't create Mercury and Venus, which are closer to the sun, and didn't create Jupiter, Neptune, Saturn, Uranus, that are too far away from the sun. He created just our planet, not the countless, countless other planets in the universe. Or did he create them too, and that's actually an argument that leads us to nowhere? The people who refute God believe in them the most. A NJ21, if you wanted my attention and to antagonize me, then the way to do it is to just say what you want to say without the little laughing emojis behind it, you know? Like you don't have to laughing emoji this. Don't have to diffuse the situation. I promise I'm a big boy. I can take somebody saying that I believe in God when I'm actively saying I'm not. It's whatever. Read the Old and New Testament for evidence. Are you talking about the Old and New Testament that have talking snakes, talking donkeys, talking bushes, and people rising from the dead? That Old and New Testament? G2, what is up? It says semen comes from the backbone. Yeah, between the backbone and the ribs. I just got to that verse not too long ago. Jace is having a funny. We can trace the blood to Middle Eastern traces if I'm not. Let's say in the Eucharist, many times people find the same blood type in different parts of the world. We can trace the blood to the Middle Eastern traces if I'm not wrong. Let's see. If morality is subjective, then why do we praise good and conflict evil? People have different definitions of what good and evil is, though. That's kind of the whole point of subjective morality. You know? People have what they find favorable and unfavorable, so they establish their morals based off of it. Are there general consensus? Yeah, but if it were truly objective, there wouldn't be a consensus, but rather a law, and everybody would act the exact same, morally speaking. But I can promise you, like my thoughts on theft probably differs from other people's thoughts on theft. No, I did. It's funny to me. That's why. Okay, congratulations. Also, how's your day going? My day's going good, man. How's your day going? Morality definitely has gray areas. Exactly. Like I would hope that we get to a point where we don't pretend that we stop pretending that it doesn't. Good and evil are verbs, not nouns. I don't believe in Sasquatch, so I don't waste my time refuting it. But if other people believe in Sasquatch and are willing to never critically think about why they believe in Sasquatch, and are willing to threaten people and saying like, oh, once you die for not believing in Sasquatch, you're gonna, be beaten by 50 Sasquatches. I think it's good for me as somebody who doesn't believe in Sasquatch to talk about it. I talk about religion for the same reason that a doctor talks about disease. Also, thank you for the likes. There's for sure moral truths though. No, there isn't. And if so, how do you access them? What's your opinion on apologia? I'm not sure what that is, honestly. What would a law generally say in Western culture? I think is what he meant, and how would it align? The fact that people from different cultures around the planet have different moral systems shows that morality is subjective. I want to do you one better besides naming the many, many reasons for my worldview that show morality to be subjective. If you believe in a God that has a mind and that's the arbiter of morality and that's capable of changing its mind, then you believe in subjective morality too. Because if God one day randomly said, I don't know, murder is good or something, then murder becomes good in your worldview, making it subjective. Oh, Apology is an atheist YouTube channel. I haven't heard of him, honestly. If you want to find evidence, I would really recommend Catholic videos that talk about revelations. Do they believe in the other parts of the book that claim talking snakes, talking donkeys, and talking bushes, though? Hugh, are you bilingual? I'm learning a little bit of Spanish and I'm learning a little bit of Tagalog, but I wouldn't call myself bilingual by any means because it's really bad. You know, I can if somebody says a sentence in Spanish, I can maybe kind of glean what they're saying a little bit, like contextually, but actually translating it word for word, I would suck. God will find you soon. Turn to Christ before it's too late. Oh, here we are with the threat portion of the stream. Unfortunately, you know, it seems kind of odd to me that simply not believing in a God means that there's going to be a point of it being too late or a threat of punishment or something. That seems very petty. If I were a God, I'm not going to punish people solely for not believing I exist when I'm the one that chooses to hide from them, but that's just me. You don't believe morality has objective truths? I believe in strong moral convictions that individuals have, sure, but objective truths, you'd have to show how you access those objective truths. And not just in a way, not just by way of like misrepresenting what subjective morality is. I'll see if I can find a video to recommend. Yeah, you can DM me here if you want to. Or anywhere, really. What's up, Hugh? What's up, Aaron? How you doing? How's your day going? It's subjective per culture, but those are generally run by supremacist religious leaders. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, a lot of different things causes people's moral convictions to be different, like their mental state, their societal upbringing, parental upbringing, religious beliefs to an extent. There's a lot of different things. It's not a threat. Take it how you want to, but it gave you time to decide if you want to follow them. It's a veiled threat. I'm like basically what you're doing is like what the mob does. They're like, oh, that's a nice soul you got there, huh? Shame if you were to burn it. Better find God before something bad happens to it, eh? Yeah, that's all it is. It's a veiled threat. It's a veiled threat that you're taught to give to people. It's a veiled threat that you're probably making in earnest, but it's a veiled threat regardless. I'm not gonna sit here and say that it isn't because you don't like the word threat. Your existence is the evidence. No, my existence is the evidence of my parents boning one night. That's all that's existence, evidence of. Real quick, what causes you to doubt the Catholic Church? I doubt all Christian denominations because they believe in a book with narrative contradictions and scientific impossibilities. How do you know that you exist? I am able to ponder my existence, which will require me to exist in order for me to exist. You know, if I didn't exist, then I couldn't even think about whether or not I exist or not. Because to be able to think altogether would require some level of existence. Why should anybody care about your belief? I mean, if you don't care about my belief, I'll just go ahead and mute you. It's fine. There's nothing else to it. I'll help you out here. You don't have to care about my beliefs, and that's completely fine if you don't. I'm not mad at for anybody that does, but if you don't, then this isn't the stream for you, and that's completely fine. But for us to have a conversation about religion, we have to care about what the other thinks on a baseline level. Send me a PS5, please. Dude, you think I got it like that? You know how much money I've made from this in the past week? $0.00. Not monetized on YouTube, not monetized on Twitch, not monetized on Kick or Trovo or Instagram or Twitter. The gifts I got from TikTok don't add up to $1, so I can't even cash that out. And the money that's been sent to me from TTS is being on hold from it's put on hold from PayPal because apparently Streamlabs sent it over as a seller, as a selling goods instead of as friends and family, so I can't even access it. I make $0.00 doing this. You think I can buy you a PS5, dude? Come on, man. What are we doing this year? Don't be rude to no. I welcome the rudeness. I don't welcome spam, and I don't welcome if like somebody says they don't care about my beliefs, it's not. I want to get them out not because they hurt my feelings, but because like, all right, if you don't care about what I have to say, then what can we talk about? We exist. That's all the evidence you need. I exist because my parents boned. That's why I exist. I think that makes a lot more sense than saying I exist because an invisible guy in the sky wanted it to be. The Earth is the evidence, the galaxy, everything that's been created. I don't think galaxies and the Earth have been created. I think they just exist from natural processes. Why do your parents exist? Because their parents boned. Let's see, Sod Chadfish. Thank you for the follow. That name was about to kick my ass. That's really good at explaining doubts. Is that really? Did you really recommend me Theist Brooks, or is that somebody else? Let me look this up real quick. If that's Theist Brooks, I'm gonna be really upset. Because Theist Brooks is actually a clown and a bigot. I can't wrestle in front of these bigots. Wait 1 second. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Control V. Let's do. You really recommended me Theist Brooks? Come on, dude. You can do better. Dude's a clown. What are we doing? The only thing I see that benefits Mormons or Jehovah's Witnesses is that they stay married because of their brand of religion. Would you convert to stay married to someone even if they didn't believe? If I wanted to get away from somebody that I was married to, I would want to be in a religious system that allows for that without any sort of pushback. So I don't know. I recently found him and he's really good at explaining verses. He's an apologist. That's literally it. I think to commit yourself to apologetics is to commit yourself to dishonesty by default. So it's basically read the verses, come up with some bullshit about why it's good, and then like sell it to people. See here. Because God put Adam and Eve on the planet. Adam and Eve did not exist. 8 billion people with 5,000 different ethnicities could not have come from two people with the same ethnicity. It's scientifically, biologically, genetically impossible. Could not possibly happen. Thank you for the likes, by the way. But yeah, it couldn't happen. Adam and Eve didn't exist. People don't come from dust or ribs. A book that says that people came from dust and ribs and they were tricked by talking snake is a book that I'm not going to trust. Wasn't expecting you to be live this early, Hugh. Me either. I was about to go to bed and then I was like, am I really that tired though? So just, Sod Chatfish, thank you for the 200 likes. See here, I disagree. Gives me hope knowing I can't earn it and it's God's gift to its followers. Can't earn what? Heaven? Or what? Psalm 82:6, ye are gods, you are the God. Let's see, you are God, the kingdom and heaven, and the kingdom and everything is within you. I'm not sure what you want me to do with that personally. Oh, matter of fact, I'm convinced. No, never mind. I don't feel like pulling up the music. Is Cyrus here? Cyrus is not here. Welcome back, G2. I don't think Cyrus will be here at all either, because I might get off here soon. Do you Christians put fear on people? They certainly do. They try their best to, at least. Oh, my man's got the auto clicker running. Hell yeah. Good shit. Are you agnostic or atheist? I'm both an agnostic and an atheist. I don't know if there is a God or not, which makes me agnostic, but I don't believe that there's any God. It's making me an atheist. There's no need to wonder if a God is real. It's the point of belief, Sade. Well, Sade, I don't want to have belief in one particular God over the multiple others. Sup, Hugh? Good to be back. What's up, follower of Baphomet? How you doing? What is up, my Satanist brother? How are you? I'm on my way to becoming an X-ray tech. Let's fucking go, Blue Badger. Hell yeah. Love to see it. I was going to be a radiography tech, but I dropped out after like 1 year. In my prereqs because my depression was at its worst. Testimony is evidence. If testimony is evidence for Christianity or any particular religion, then I have to accept the testimony for every other religion too. So if I'd have to take you seriously, I'd have to take every denomination seriously and all their conflicting claims. I'd have to take Islam seriously. I'd have to take Hinduism seriously, Judaism seriously. I'd have to take them all seriously, all the pagan ones. So that would lead me to omnism, which is just like incoherent. So no, testimony is not evidence. Hugh, you're my favorite dropout. Aww, I'm your favorite dropout. No, I'm not even my favorite dropout. Ask the divine, not us. Trust me, you'll have signs. No religion, that's a man-made tradition. I've already, quote unquote, asked the divine if you consider God himself to be divine, and, no answer. So, did my part, did my legwork. Not the best. Broke my arm fixing a customer's car, but at least have some time paid off. Oh, jeez, dude. How bad is the break? Is it like, you know, healed within a couple weeks kind of bad, or like, like some. If you want to believe a certain God, that's okay, Sade. Well, Sade, I don't want to believe in any then. you know? Some people need an imaginary friend, and that's okay, but we need separation of church and state. Absolutely, we do. We really desperately do. Thank you for those thousands of likes, dude. I appreciate that. Running the auto clicker on my stream, hell yeah. That's not fixing this view count, though. I think because it's not my time that I normally go live. The Bible, I've read it twice. The Bible's not evidence. Host, has it ever entered your mind that maybe, just maybe, you're not chosen? If I'm not chosen, then, I mean, at least logically that makes sense. But then, like, okay, then what? Just continue living, waiting for hell? Is that it? Just, just go from there? Not chosen? Okay, fair enough. But, like, just enjoy my time here. Get ready for hell after, I guess. I don't know. It was a small fracture. Doctor said I should be good in a week or two. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I broke my wrist at one of my first jobs, and to this day I can still click it if I move it a certain type of way. I probably should have got it set. I don't know. I think I need a book of Job. You do not need a book of Job. I need employment. You definitely need employment, especially after that brain rot you sent me. Yeah, you need a job for sure. Also, the book of Job is one of the worst books of the Bible. Dude's like, hey, ruin this guy's life. LOL. Like, come on, dude. So what do you believe in? It takes a lot more faith to be an atheist. Blanche, are you calling faith illogical? Before we even get into whether or not I have faith, quote unquote, are you calling faith illogical? Because I see no other reason that anybody would bring up that it takes more faith to be one way or the other. Because if you're calling faith illogical, that's a hill to die on. I'd think about that real quick. Booga Sugar Sage, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Personally, I'd rather worship Spider-Man than God. He's got better morals. Me too. I'd probably choose like Mr. Immortal or something. My friend believed in God, but when he got older, he thought the concept of God didn't make sense. Your friend is me, but as long as he got 19 years old before he stopped believing, then yeah. See here. I love when I'm not chosen, LOL, and we still chose the right decision. I love when I'm not chosen and we still chose the right decision. Huh? Love when I'm not chosen and we still chose the right decision. You know what? Hell yeah. You know what? Hell yeah, actually. It's all you got? Okay, yeah, I'm good then. I'll live it up on this planet and not worry about conversion. If you don't believe Spider-Man is real, you clearly worship the Green Goblin. Yeah, and you're gonna go to the Oscorp headquarters basement or something. There is none, but you better believe. Yep, just believe, bro. You better believe, man. No, my brain rot is peak. You'd be grateful you get to lay eyes on my FYP. Yeah, you must have like TikTok Premium or some shit. Can God do my homework for me? I don't wanna. What type of homework is it? Like math? Why do people still get homework? What are we doing with homework? The Department of Education is getting gutted. We're not going to care about homework soon. Just take a look around. It has to have been created by someone or something. I disagree. I'm not seeing why creation is necessary for existence in and of itself. Now, the individual parts of existence in my room, sure. All the things on my desk itself, yeah, all these things have to have been created. Me, yeah, like by my parents. But like the air and trees and shit, no, I'm not seeing necessity for creation in that. There will never be proof of God or gods. Is about belief, your choice to believe or not, free will. Nobody can choose their beliefs. I can. It's think about Santa Claus real quick. Can you choose to believe in Santa Claus literally right now on a dime? The answer is no, you can't. Unless you want to lie to me. You can't honestly choose your beliefs. You take in information, you digest that information, and you come to a conclusion. What is disproving that God exists? Burden of proof isn't on me. Stop being lazy. Remember what God said, some of their father Satan, and you know who you are? Okay, dude, whatever, Jacob's letter. Faith comes by hearing. Should I get a hearing aid or something? The book of Job is great, Hugh. If you ever need strength in time of turmoil, Job rules. If I ever need strength in time of God making a bet with his arch enemy to ruin my life and take my family from me and, you know, get me sick, then sure, but I sure hope that never happens. Yeah, just toying with somebody's life just for the fuck of it and killing his family for the fuck of it. Like, what are we doing? That's a good story to you? That's your take? Hugh, will you do my AP Chem for me? I did like Chem, but I don't think I ever got AP Chem in my club, you know. What's the evidence that God isn't real? Chloe Marie, please stop trying to be lazy and put the burden of proof on me when I'm not making a positive claim. Proof he is. Don't just say, oh, let me turn the question around and there you go. No. Stop being lazy. And if not, you can keep strolling through, probably find like somebody playing Fortnite or something. Probably find another stream where discussing politics or somebody's randomly in their bed or something. Fun fact, I'm sorry, I'm going to go on a tangent here. I was scrolling through TikTok lives one day, and I shit you not, I really wish I was joking. I saw two people just going at it on live stream on TikTok. I stuck around. I wanted to see how long until their account got banned. But they were just going at it, just slapping cheeks. It was the most surreal thing I ever saw. I couldn't believe it. I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh, on TikTok, you know, just scrolling through, about to see what people are doing. Just straight up clapping cheeks, dude. By the way, it took like 5 minutes before they got banned, but just straight up going for it. I couldn't believe it. Job's life turned out nice in the end. So would you be content with God taking your family from you, just killing your family in cold blood? Or, in case you want to be technical here, allowing Satan to kill your family in cold blood. Just saying, oh, it's all good. You get another family in the end, LOL. Like, come on. A consolation family? Is that like, that's our perfect God here? A consolation family? Are we joking? We have to be joking. A consolation family? A silver medal family? Oh, you can go ahead and take my family from them. You just give me another one at the end of it. Are we kidding? Like, huh? God is real. Even science proved the Bible real. Science says that snakes don't talk. It says that donkeys don't talk. It says that bushes don't talk. It says that people don't rise from the dead. It says that fish and bread can't just be multiplied out of nowhere. It says that water can't be turned into wine. It says that blind people can't randomly be healed without surgery. It says that the flood didn't happen for multiple reasons. It says that the sun was created before vegetation. It says that light was created after the sun, or would have to come after the sun. And also it says that it says a bunch of different. It says that people don't come from ribs and they don't come from dust. So no, the Bible doesn't prove. The science doesn't prove the Bible real. In fact, it does quite the opposite. What you're trying to do is co-opt science for your religious preferences, and that's not going to work with me. Let's see here. It would hurt, but this wasn't revealed to him for the longest while. Huh? Don't you think it's a little narcissistic to call your God God? Look in the Bible, look what it says, and look in the world how he's predicted countless amounts. I'm gonna need quite literally even one example. Even though it's, oh, you're talking about Job. Even though it's extremely heavy and depressing, it's a story of hope for people in need. I'm not getting hope from that. The story is bullshit. The Invisible Man, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. It's a bullshit story. It's a bullshit story. Satan can come and destroy your family and your life just on a bet with God, even though he's all knowing and should know what's going to happen anyway. But still just, hey, take this man's family, I'll give him another one. Come on, dude. Oh, it's heavy and depressing, but it's a good story. Fuck you. Respectfully. Like, to imagine somebody coming and murking your kids and your wife and all of your animals and giving you sickness and taking your making you homeless, but you'll be all right in the end. Come on, dude. Even though that God that allows that shit to happen already knows that what's going to happen at the end of it. This book of Job is just shows how humans are God's plaything. Disgusting book. One of the worst in the Bible, if not the worst. Also, thank you for those likes. Appreciate that. You know, Noah's Ark might have been found by astronauts too. Come on, dude. So, firstly, Noah's Ark wasn't found by astronauts. It was claimed to have been found by Ron Wyatt, who was a nurse and not an archaeologist. I'll start there. Um, but even beside the point, Noah's Ark could not have happened. Like the flood story could not have happened for just multiple reasons. You really think a 600-year-old man built a large wooden boat in the Middle East with his untrained sons and Stone Age tools? Yeah. A boat that wouldn't have been big enough for all the animals on the planet, like two of them that we've had around for the longer than 4,500 years, somewhere in there. The animals from other parts of the world that we can verify evolved in their part of the world just swam across the ocean to the Middle East and then swam back to their homelands afterward. That the carnivores wouldn't have eaten all the other animals. That there was enough space for all the food on the boat. That only 8 people were able to repopulate the planet to 5,000 different ethnicities only 4,700 years later. Come on, dude. Joke of a story. Let's not even forget the fact that there's not enough water in the planet or around the planet or in within the ice caps for the flood story. It's very obviously a fake story. Aaron, thank you so much for the 5 GGs. I appreciate it. GG. Let me stop. The cause of the Big Bang was God. Even physicists don't make any claims about what happened before the Big Bang, so I don't know why you're making shit up. Respectfully. As respectful as I can say that. God isn't just going to reveal himself to you because you ask. He's testing to see if you will be a believer when you see him or not. Why does an all-knowing being need to test literally anybody? What are you saying? Why am I giving your God more credit than you? Why does an all-knowing being need to test shit? How does that work? Firstly, why would he want to? Let me put somebody in a position where they can get punished forever just because I feel like it, because I want to test them, because I'm a little trickster. But B, he's all fucking knowing. Why would he need to test literally anybody? Test? Know all the answers? Think about a school test for a second. You know all the answers already. It's asking you basic times tables. You already know them by the back of your hand. What is there to test? There is no test. All knowing. There is no need to test anything if you are all knowing. It's just ugh. Like how am I the one giving your God credit and you're the one taking attributes from your God to try to make it make some sort of sense? Come on, man. Have you read the Bible? I've read it 2 times. 1 time and then 2 times. Host your argument for a God you don't believe in. It's a straitjacket time for you. Hey, guess what time it is for you, Jacob's Ladder? It's mute time, baby. See you later. Mute and count. See you next stream. You're an antagonistic piece of shit. Skadoosh. Get out of my chat. You had your daily amount of attention for the day, Jacob's Ladder. Now hopefully your parents can get back to raising you. If he's all knowing, he already know the result of any test. Exactly. It's that simple. Have you read the Ethiopian Bible? It's the oldest Bible. No, I haven't read it. I've read the NIV and the NRSV. But if the Ethiopian Bible makes the same unscientific claims, then it's still going to be a bullshit book. How do you view Jesus, man? Just pure opinion? Either just a regular person or not existent at all. One of the two. It's whatever. Okay, let me read up on YouTube chat for a second. God is a great God and gives us free will to do choices. Huh? What does that have to do with literally anything? Weren't you talking about Noah's Ark? What happened to the freshwater fish? Good question. Very obviously a made up story. They would have the heat problem too. Can't forget the heat problems. Like, come on, dude. Sure, you can believe the Old Testament and Islam are from a demiurge god. However, when Jesus is worshiping the God of Israel and you say it's a different God, you're not following Jesus. You're just creating your own theology at this point. Yeah, they'll just say anything, honestly. Anything in the moment to try to make it be as morally correct and scientifically correct as possible. Oh, and narratively correct too. Can't forget that. It's like, come on. It just make up anything. I'd rather believe in a God all my life to find out there isn't instead of living a life without believing in God and find out there is. I'm cool with not believing in a God. I don't live my life like that because I don't do anything outlandishly bad to people. I go out of my way to try to be as intentionally non-harmful as possible. So if I find out that there is a God and he doesn't care about that, then that God's a petty narcissistic piece of shit that I don't want to be with. You know? If I let me just believe in a God just because the God proposed is petty, it would send me to hell just for not believing he exists when he's the one choosing to hide from everybody. Nah, no thank you. Either I'm gonna be I won't even say rewarded. Either something that I'm content with is gonna happen due to my good deeds or the way I live my life, or something bad's gonna happen that I didn't deserve, which I have no control over, so I'm not gonna change my life anyway. Or nothing's gonna happen and I cease to exist. I'm cool with all three of those options. An all-knowing God would know text is a terrible way of conveying a message over time. Exactly. I've been to church and watched the dead be raised. I think you're lying to me. Either you're lying or the people that you that made the whole scene that you seen were lying. Elijah, you can if you're over the age of 18, you can just DM me if you want to. Says the live streamer on TikTok. Hypocritical is an understatement. Somebody just coming in to troll and antagonize and be like, "Oh, LOL, laughing emoji, a bunch of antagonistic, trolly nonsense," is looking for attention. Am I looking for attention too? Sure. Do I have something to say? Yeah. Am I trying to get critical thinking out of people? Sure. Can people scroll away whenever they want to? Absolutely, they can. Can it? Let's not do that. There's no proof. It's just faith, and then I choose not to have faith in your particular religion. But if you want to sit here and defend people trolling me for no reason whatsoever, you can go to. It's nothing to it. I couldn't care less. Don't need you here. One less person on my that I got to deal with. Oh, why didn't the all-knowing God just tell people a foolproof way to make anyone and everyone believe? Right. Or since he's powerful enough, just literally come in every generation or so and say, "Hey, here I am." Believe. I'm the one true God. By the way, just reminding y'all. So be with me or choose not to be with me. What do you think is going to happen once you die? You think it's a coincidence that you live for like 70 years on average and die and just don't exist? Yeah, I think that makes perfect sense. A body that's designed to live maybe 70 average years, then die off. Yeah. Ceases to exist. Your mind dies with it. Makes sense to me. Have you read the Book of Enoch? No, I haven't read the Book of Enoch. You were a Christian for 19 years and get mad for begging God to just show up and tap you on your shoulder. I mean, we can just take different parts of my words and jumble them together to make some sort of non-point all we want to, but that's not what I said. I don't believe in God for multiple reasons. I didn't get mad at God. Obviously, I was a Christian. Why would I be mad at God? But yeah, I didn't get the tap on the shoulder. I didn't get my faith restored. I didn't get any sort of sign whatsoever, any sort of answer whatsoever. And all of the evidence that was presented to me sucked ass. It was bad evidence. So I don't know how you construe my words into some random narrative, but yeah. That's exactly what you said before. Don't change the subject. Trey, one of my least favorite types of people is lying liars who lie. I don't like lying pieces of shit. I'm sorry. So I'm going to go ahead and mute you for the rest of the stream. I can't stand liars. Has anybody here observed me saying I got mad at God because he wouldn't tap me on the shoulder? Me mentioning getting tapped on the shoulder is when somebody asks, what would it take for you to believe in God? I say, oh, if he tapped me on the shoulder, I believe probably that he exists. But I don't like lying liars who lie. put words in my mouth and then claim that I said those words because you can't listen, because you can't turn your fucking hearing aid up, get the fuck out of my stream. I can't stand people like you. I don't need you people like you around me. I need honest people around me, one way or the other. I don't need lying liars who lie. Lie to your mom, lie to your girlfriend, lie to your cat. Don't lie to me. Because I know what I said. I'm as intentional as humanly possible with my words. I stumble over something just like right there. I have a stutter a little bit, right? But I try to be as intentional as possible with the things that I say. But you taking my words to misconstrue them into some false narrative and then saying, no, you actually said that. You're a lying liar who lies. Get the fuck out of my stream. I like to believe in being reincarnated after death because where else would you go? Fair. I feel like if something had to happen, I think that's the most likely that the energy of our body is actually supernatural in nature and it comes back in some sort of like consciousness afterward. Yeah, okay, I could see it, but even then, that takes about that's not something I can really jive with. When you see a house, you know there's a building. Same with Earth, there has to be a creator. When you see a rock, you know that it's natural and that it didn't have a creator that made it. So I look at the universe and think the same thing. Now, you're not going to find that satisfactory because that's a false equivalence, the same way that yours was too. So let's not falsely analogize things that are not related to the other. Nothing happens after we pass away. We just won't exist anymore. There you go. That's simple. Where's the proof that anything else exists, like the universe or things beyond it? We only have faith. Like the universe itself exists? Is that what you're asking me? Pants on fire as we speak. Yeah, put your goddamn pants out. Stop, drop, and roll instead of lying about my narrative in my stream. That I know, where I know the words that I said. Gnosticism as truth is crazy. You can't trust lies because if you lie, you probably steal shit as well. So, right. Apple did indeed make gravity. You're correct. Let's go here. Wait, what happened? Something happened? I missed something? I didn't miss anything. Oh, yeah, let's go. Gotcha. Where's the proof that anything... already read that because I'm stupid. There's no exact proof otherwise than around us. It is up to you to decide to believe or not. That is all. A universe existing around me makes a lot more sense than a God outside of the universe that we can't even verify it is a real place making everything. Let's not do that. The Book of Enoch explains them more in details. Does it make other unfalsifiable claims, or does it actually explain parts of the Bible? I believe in God like a blind man believes in the sun. You can't see it, you can feel it. I mean, a blind man can say that the sun exists because they feel it, because it's described to them by people who have the capability of sight, right? So I don't know what to tell you. Bible, Quran, Torah, to name a few. I've read the Bible twice and I'm currently reading the Quran. I mean, technically, if you've read the Bible and the Old Testament, you've read the Torah too. So, read it all, didn't see the evidence. So, not David, thank you for the follow. There's no exact proof otherwise in the earth that surrounds us. It is up to you to believe in God or not. You can't choose your beliefs arbitrarily, dude. I don't know who told you you can, but you know you can't. I know you can't. I have a question. What if God showed you a vision that he is real and he can do miracles? Would you even have a chance to turn to Christianity? Would I have a chance? I don't know. Depends. But if I would show like a vision, I would just assume hallucination. If you showed me in a dream, I'd just assume I'm dreaming and, just my brain's making shit up like it always does in my dreams. I need something tangible. I think I will believe that a God who's tangibly existent would be able to give tangible evidence other than like a dream or a vision. I mean, God is literally mentioned in all three books. Yeah, he's also mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita and a bunch of other books, but they mention different gods in oral traditions for a lot of the pagan religions and a lot of other different holy books too. So the Abrahamic one is, he has its own little trilogy of books. Cool beans, but yeah, it doesn't do much for me from an outside perspective. Same with believing that God doesn't exist. There's no proof he doesn't, but you believe that. The only reason there's no proof he doesn't is because what theists continue to do is take God and move him outside of the goalposts of what we can verify. The reason that paganism died, or at least Greek paganism died, is because they were able to scale the mountain and see that the gods weren't up there. You know, IDK'd, I don't know why you're spamming. Get out of my chat, dude. We don't do that. We don't do that in here. We don't do that in here. We do not do that in here. Let's not do that. Get out of my chat, please. But, so if we were to verify some outside of space or whatever, some multiverse, whatever, it would just be, oh, well, God's outside of that. He's outside of that, outside of that, outside of that. You know, it's kind of hard to say, like, to disprove something that people keep insisting is outside of the things that we can verify. Also, Kayla, thank you for the follow. Why would you trust the vision? I wouldn't trust the vision. I would need something more tangible. Remember what it was like before you were born? Same thing when we die. Nothing. Exactly. What if he shows you the vision after you take a whole sheet of acid? Oof. I would hope I don't have to do that. Even one tab was enough for me. Tweaking off a perk is crazy. The whole world is tangible evidence. For what God in particular? Because I know a lot of Muslims who will say that the earth is proof of the God as he is revealed through the Prophet Muhammad, praise be upon him, you know. So, I know a bunch of Hindus that'll say it's proof of Lord Brahma. Which God? It's not good evidence. To me, the world is result of natural processes. No gods required. Wouldn't it just prove God exists in many sources and seen through different lenses? I mean, if you're an omnist, sure, but are you an omnist? Are you an omnist, Toasty Bagel? Or are you a Christian? Because I see the cross in your username, so that leads me to believe you're a Christian. Are you an omnist? You're a Christian? Okay, so it's a moot point. You know, because how do you know you have the correct idea of what God actually is? If God is actually showing itself to multiple people through, you know, different lenses that could be wrong, right? The fact that anything exists at all is evidence in itself. Would you agree or disagree? No, I wouldn't agree, because I don't see how a God's required in it. Literally anything that exists currently. So therefore there's no reason for you to believe or for me to believe I only have faith. Sure, you're allowed to have blind faith in something that has no evidence for it otherwise, but I just don't share that. I try to live my life in a way where I accept evidence for the things that I dedicate myself to. As God once said, where the problem at? I'm spending off the perk. I'm like a laundromat. Dude, who the fuck said that, man? BBO, why are you like this? Come on, dude. Why are you like this? Nothing plus nothing equals nothing. I don't think I ever said that everything came from nothing. I don't think I said that. In fact, I know I didn't say that because I didn't say it. I don't believe it, so I wouldn't say it. So, I don't know what to tell you. I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna go to sleep, actually. I should probably get some sleep. I should probably take a nap. Go live later. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Yeah. Yeah, actually. I'm gonna get out of here. Ashes, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Shameless self promo. Shameless self promo. Am I stupid? Don't answer that. Oh, shoot. Okay. Wait 1 second. Ugh. 1 second. 1 second. There we go. Yep, shameless self promo time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Getting off here. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Appreciate the discussions. Check out my link tree for all my links. If you want to keep up with my content, you can follow the link. You can find the links to my YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Kick, and Trovo in there. So make sure to follow me on any of those. If you want to talk to me off stream, you can find the links to my Discord server and my Snapchat in there. If you want to send text to speech during the stream, you can find the links to either tip me through PayPal or to donate to the crisis text line through my charity link in there. Both of them come with text to speech. If you want to support the stream, you can find my Cash App, Venmo, Bitcoin address, and Ethereum address in there. If you want to send me a pizza or some other food, you can find my treat stream in there. And lastly, if you want to check out my wish list, you can find my